Dear students, welcome to second PUC biology class. We are studying the chapter 13 organisms and population. In that, one of the topic that we are studying is populations. That the subtopic that we have is population growth. Earlier classes we have studied the population size, population density, and continue to that one. We are going to study population growth. So the growth of the population will be there. The population size changes depending upon factors like availability of the food. In a particular geographical area, the population keeps on changing. It's not always stable, but keeps on changing. Some of the factors that are responsible are availability of the food, predation pressure, weather, etc. are the factors. On that, the growth of the population depends. Changes in population density give some idea about the population. Whether if there is change in the population density, it indicates that whether the population is flourishing or whether the population is decreasing, declining. By that I can understand whether the population is growing or it is decreasing. Four basic processes that fluctuates the population density, that will affect the population density. There are four basic processes which are responsible for the population growth or decline. They are natality, mortality, immigration, emigration. These are the four factors that will influence the population, whether it is growing or declining. And what is the natality? If you look at the diagram, the one of the factor is immigration, indicates I, capital I. Natality is capital B. This will be the population density, and mortality will be the D, and emigration will be the E. So natality means B, capital B, it is indicated. That means it is the number of births in a population during a given period of time. So how many people are taking birth in a given period? That is the natality. It indicated with capital B and with the arrow mark. Population density is at the center. Population density is at the center, and with on the arrow mark it is indicated that plus sign. That means it is increases. As the number of birth taking place in a particular area, what happens to the population density? Obviously, it increases. That increasing the population is being indicated with plus sign. And next is mortality. It is indicated with capital D. It indicates death rate. It is the number of deaths in a population during a given period of time. And over the arrow mark, it is given minus. Minus sign shows that declining population density decreases. As more and more number of individuals are dying in a particular area, then the population density obviously it will decrease. And the third factor is immigration. Immigration means it is the number of people who are joining a particular area from some other places. The people who are coming to the particular area from some other places. When people are coming from some other places, at that time also population density increases. Take for example Bangalore. Day by day, day by day, day by day, what happens to the population density of the Bangalore means it increases because more number of people are moving from different states to Bangalore for some of these, for many reasons, maybe job, maybe shelter, maybe to live over there, in search of job, many reasons will be there. So many people move to the Bangalore, therefore immigration is more in Bangalore, population density of Bangalore increases. It shows that number of people are coming to the area. that is indicated with I. Then you take the emigration, that is the capital E. In the, it is shown minus. That means it is the number of individuals of the population who left the habitat and gone elsewhere during a given period of time. That means from the particular area, the people move away from that. Then people are moving away from the particular area, population density obviously decreases. Therefore, when you look at the diagram, it is showing 2 plus and 2 minuses. That means 2 factors are responsible for increasing the population, 2 factors are responsible for decreasing the population. Natality and immigration are the 2 factors that are responsible for the growth of the population. Mortality and immigration are the 2 factors which are responsible for decreasing the population. So, in a given period of a given geographical area, when people are moving, emigrating, when people are dying, mortality, then the population density decreases. In a given area, in a given period of time, many people are taking birth, called natality, and many people are coming far off places, then immigration. In these 2 cases, if these 2 cases are happening, then obviously population density increases. So natality and immigration increases the population density. At the same time, mortality and immigration decreases the population density. If n is the population density at a time t, then the density at a time t plus 1 is indicated with the formula nt plus 1 is equal to nt plus in b plus I, birth plus immigration, minus d plus e, death and immigration. By that, we can calculate the population density, whether it is growing or whether it is decreasing. Using this formula, we can easily calculate in a given area, in a given period of time, whether the population is increasing or whether the population is decreasing. I can calculate with that. Population density increases if B plus I, birth plus immigration, is more than the D plus E, death plus immigration. Otherwise, it will decrease. If it is not, if it is reverse, birth and immigration is less, death and immigration is more, automatically population decline, population decreases, population reduces. Under normal condition, births and deaths are important factors influencing population density. Immigration and immigration have importance only under special conditions. Usually, births and deaths are the factors that are responsible for the population density. In some of the cases, immigration and immigration also makes the difference in the population. So they also have the importance. For example, when for a colonizing new habitat, in a new habitat, if it is there where the people starts living in a newly area, immigration may be more significant to population growth than the birth rate. In such cases, immigration makes the difference. Immigration is a very important factor that plays. Population growth model. There are 2 growth models which we can see. One of the growth model is exponential growth model and logistic growth model. You can see the growth day 1 paramecium was there, day 2, day 3, day 4. If it increases, that means many are there on the 6th day. So that is the exponential growth. How the growth will occur, how the population will be growing. The population will be growing by 2 methods. One of the method, what we say growth model, one of the growth model is exponential growth. In the exponential growth, the growth will be unlimited. This is happening when resources are unlimitedly available. You must remember, exponential growth curve is being obtained when resources is unlimitedly available. Resources, that is food and space, are essential for the unimpeded population growth. If resources are unlimited, each species shows its full innate potential to grow in number. Then the population grows in an exponential or geometrical fashion or geometrical ways. If population size is n, birth rate is B, per capita birth indicates B, death rate indicates D, then the increase or decrease in population size during a unit time period T, dn by dt will be dn by dt is equal to birth minus death into population size will be the formula that we use. Let B minus D is equal to R is the intrinsic growth. Then dn by dt will become Rn. So by this, the R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase, is an important parameter for assessing impacts of any biotic and abiotic factor on population growth. By this will be the formula for calculating the exponential growth curve. So organisms and R values, some R values keeps an intrinsic growth not be same for all the species. Norway rat intrinsic growth will be 0.015. Floor beetle is different. Human population in India, when the 1981 census has been taken place, it was intrinsic growth was 0.0205. So intrinsic growth will be differing. The integral form of the exponential growth equation is nt is equal to n0 e to the power of rt, where nt is equal to population density after time t, n0 is equal to population density at a time 0, r is the intrinsic rate of natural increase, and e is the base of natural logarithms. Its value is 2.71828 is that. And this is the equation for exponential growth. I repeat, the equation for the exponential growth is nt is equal to n0 e to the power of rt. So where nt is equal to population density after time t, n0 is equal to population density at a time 0, r is the intrinsic rate of natural increase, and e is the base of natural logarithms, and its value is 2.71828. This will be the growth model of X. Red color indicates the growth model of the exponential growth curve, and you can see the blue, which is just bent down, that will be the logistic growth, or it is also called sigmoid growth curve. Exponential growth curve is also called J-shaped curve because it continuously increases, therefore it looks like a J shape, so it is also called J-shaped curve. Exponential growth curve is also called J-shaped curve. Logistic growth is also called sigmoid curve, or it is also called S curve. Looks like S. It looks like S. Therefore, it is called S-shaped curve. So let us see the logistic growth curve. Always to think practically, in an environment, unlimited resources will not be possible to get all the times. Resources will become limited. Therefore, one more type of growth which is being seen is logistic growth. There is no population in nature having unlimited resources for exponential growth. Exponential growth curve, we will get it when resources are unlimitedly available. But it not happens all the time in nature. So another type of growth model that we see is a logistic growth. This leads to competition among the individuals. As the population increases, the competition also increases for the resources, for limited resources. Eventually, what happens? The fittest will survive. Individuals survive and reproduce. So, in nature, a given habitat has enough resources to support a maximum possible number, beyond which no further growth is possible. It is called carrying capacity. Logistic growth curve is one of the right growth curve. Practically, happening growth curve we can say, because resources not always unlimitedly available. So logistic growth curve, from at the beginning it starts increasing. It increases up to certain level. When the resources becomes limited, it falls down and goes straight. So the line that you can see, dotted line in the graph which you can see here, is this will be indicated with K. You can see this is being indicated with K. That means carrying capacity. The carrying capacity means no further growth will be possible. No further growth is possible in such cases. Therefore, this is called the logistic growth curve. Logistic growth curve is more realistic. Remember, logistic growth curve is more realistic compared to the exponential growth. A population with limited resources shows initially a lag phase, gets initiated, phases of acceleration, speeds up, and declaration falls down. Finally, an asymptote. Finally, it moves on. Static. It remains static. This type of population growth is called Warholst-Pearl logistic growth, or it is also called logistic growth, or it is also called S-shaped growth curve, or it is also called sigmoid curve. It is described by the following equation. N is equal to population density at a time t. dn by dt is equal to Rn into bracket k minus n divided by k, where n is equal to population density at a time t, R is equal to intrinsic rate of natural increase, k is equal to carrying capacity. Since resources for growth for most animal population are finite, the logistic growth model is a more realistic one. We can say logistic growth curve is more realistic one. So next one, in the next classes, population interaction. The last topic of this lesson is population interaction, that we will see in the next class.